Hey guys, so recently there was a new feature added into Heroes called supports. Now, supports have been in the main series for a while now. They've mainly been used to show characters interact between each other as well as to increase a character's own story. They've also been used to give slight stat boosts whenever the two supported characters fight each other. And in Heroes, it's kind of there's not much of a story aspect. There's a little generic cutscene that plays whenever the support rank goes up, but the stat boosts are still there, and I think they're very strong actually. But there's a lot of things about them that are a little confusing, and I've seen a lot of questions being asked about them. So I thought I would make a video answering a lot of these questions and kind of explaining how supports work. So there's two different types of supports. There's ally supports and summoner supports. They're different. I'll explain summoner supports first because they're easier to explain. Um, so with a summoner support, you're essentially supporting an ally with your summoner. You can only choose one ally to support with your summoner support. As you can see, I've chosen Delphia, and when you choose them, they are highlighted red rather than the other colors. And their background changes. So these are nice little aesthetic changes, but as far as how to actually build the support, essentially once you support the unit, you start at a C support, and you have to fight with the unit, get kills with the unit, and then your support slowly starts building. For support, you have to get around 350 kills to get to the maximum rating, which is S rank, and that's a lot of kills. So what this incentivizes is putting the support there that you're going to use a lot. So I use Delphi a lot. Let's go over here to what stats it gives actually. Here's the stats. As you can see with S rank, that's a lot of stats that it gives you just for free. You could use this on an armor unit very effectively because they will probably make use of every one of these stats other than speed. And some of the faster ones like Amelia or Draug could even use the speed. You could use it on Bridelia or Bolin just to do more damage. You could even use it on your Reinhardt for the 2 extra damage and the slight extra bulk. So they're really good, but you want to make sure that you use them on a character that you like because they are so hard to build. Now you can change which character your summoner is supported with. However, once you change, no matter what your support with the previous character was, the new support will always be C, so you'll have to restart from the beginning. And then if you change back to the previous character that you supported, so say I went from Delphia to Hector, I'd start with Hector, but then I'm like, wait, no, let me go back to Delphia. It's going to go back to C on even Delphia. So you're going to want to change the support as little as possible because it takes a while to build. So it kind of encourages you to put it on somebody that you use a lot. Now, what it actually does, you saw those stats. The stats actually do show on the stats page. You can see that both stats are even higher than usual. These kind of work like Fury buffs in that they don't actually increase your arena-based stat total. They just kind of increase your stats without increasing your points. They don't work unless your unit is controlled by you. So if you have a unit in a defense team, and the unit is summoner supported, that unit won't have all the extra stats from the summoner support. So you probably won't go against any supported units in arena. The same thing goes for if your supported unit is your lead character, and somebody looks at the friends list or something, you see a lot of extra stats, they will just see the unit normally without any extra stats. Which kind of makes sense because it's your summoner that's supported, not theirs. So let me look at these notes that I wrote to make sure I said everything. So the way that you build these is kind of specific. You can't just build it where you have to kill enemies that are level 35 or above, and that kind of limits your options. You can't use Arena Assault to get free kills. You have to use something that actually gives rewards because the way Arena Assault works is you only get rewards for your fun through it, so any subsequent runs won't give you anything until the reset. So I personally used Training Tower to farm up Delphia, got all my kills, and then I got to S rank. So then the other type of support is called the ally support. And in the ally support, you're essentially supporting a character with another character. So these buffs are as such. So you get these if the allies are within one space of another, and these if the allies are right next to each other. So the way you build up this support, excuse me. So the way you build up this support is you have the two allies on your team, and you select them to be supported with each other. And then whenever one of the two allies gets in combat while the other one is next to them, they will get the points towards the support. And this works for so if either one of them gets to kill, the support between both of them will build. Those buffs that you saw earlier do stack with Hone abilities. However, they don't increase the amount of damage that your Blade Tome does. So they're still good, but they're not like absolutely insane with your Nino. You'll need around 220 kills in order to get to S rank with these with the ally support. So it's less than the summoner support, but it's still quite a lot. You will mainly want to support units that you use together a lot. So for example, I have an S rank between Tiki and Faye, because if you saw my previous video, my dragon video, you'll know that I use them together a lot. One pretty obvious thing that you can do is support your support your horse units. So I have Camus and Lynn here because they are both on my horse team. They will be able to buff each other even further because, like I said, these buffs do stack with Hones. Light summoner supports, these will be able to be used only if you are the one controlling them. There's no ally supports in enemy teams. And one cool thing, actually, for both types of supports is if you have a duplicate, if you support one ally with another one, any duplicates of that ally will also be supported. However, if you have a team with multiples of that ally, the support will apply to all of them. So say you're a summoner supported with Delphia, like I am, and all your Delphias will be summoner supported. However, if you have a team with 3 Delphias, all of them will have the buff. Then your Delphia is ally supported with Naui. So you have your 3 Delphias, and then you have a Naui. Now, as long as the Naui is next to the Delphias, all of them will get the buff. So that's kind of interesting. However, I don't see much use for it in places other than Grand Hero battles or something like that, because there are a lot of game modes that don't let you use duplicates. Let's see. That looks like everything I wrote in my notes. So, yeah, the buffs are really good, as you can see. If you add up all of the buffs that you get, it's kind of like +4 to all stats, as well as +5 health points, just for being next to somebody that you are supported with, as well as having the max rank summoner support. So that's really good because you get all these stats for free. I'd really suggest that you figure out how to use these effectively, because they will make your life a lot easier. And I also suggest that you make sure you put them on units that you will use a lot, because if you want to change the supports, like I said, you have to restart at C. So they take forever to build. I believe I used quite a bit of stamina potions just to build up this Delphia on the first release of supports. So yeah, that's everything. If you guys have any other questions about how these supports work, I will be sure to answer them. Just make a comment down below. And I liked it. Look at this beautiful. Oh. Haha. Delphia's mine. Don't you dare support her, or else I will kill you.